Welcome back to CoffeeU, everyone, friends, listeners, everyone else.
Even if you're not listening,
I guess if you're listening, you're a listener. Is that right? Correct. Is that how it works?
That is how it works.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome back, everyone. We're glad to be here. I'm Nathan. This is Brad.
Glad to be here.
We're glad to be here. We're going to talk about a fun thing that happened a few weeks ago.
Kind of our part 2 of Dubai.
Yeah, part 2 of Dubai. So because of that, we have 2 very specialty guests with us, Joshua Parvin and Rachel Parvin. Welcome, guys.
Welcome back.
Hey, glad to be back. Pumped to talk about World of Coffee.
Yeah, great. Yeah. That was just last month, and you mentioned it briefly in the previous episode. But tell us about what that is. What is World of Coffee, and what was Baba Java's involvement in it?
Absolutely. So the World of Coffee is a specialty coffee expo. So it's like a trade show or some kind of exhibition where a lot of different people in the specialty coffee industry come together in a region. So the equivalent to this in the US would be SCA Expo, which a lot of our listeners might be familiar with. Fun fact, SCA Expo is actually changing their name to World of Coffee US very soon.
Oh,
because all of the other SCA Expos are called World of Coffee and the city they're in. So World of Coffee happens every single year in Dubai. Actually, our friend Khalid, Brad, and my friend, is the SCA chapter leader here in Dubai. And a few years ago, he convinced SCA to host a World of Coffee every single year here in Dubai. So typically, World of Coffee doesn't stay in one city around the world. It actually moves to different regions. Dubai is one of the only cities where World of Coffee is here every single year. And it's because it's a city where people can easily get to. It's a hub. It's the hub of specialty coffee in the region, and there's a large population of people here who love specialty coffee. So it's just a great city for them to have it. It's the only one they have, like I said, every single year.
So what did we do there? What was Baba Java's involvement? And this is actually our second year to be there. So
yeah, you get to even go back to last year and what happened and how it's different too.
Yeah,
so.
Good idea. Yeah.
Technically our third year,
yes,
but our second with a booth. Yeah.
Yes. So this was our third year at World of Coffee. Our first year was just me, Rachel, and another couple that came over with us, Alejandro and Joanna. And really we were just trying to scope out, see if we can make some initial connections that first year. That was in 2023.
Yeah.
And then last year, 2024 in January, was basically our big splash to moving to Dubai. So we had a booth. It's really gorgeously designed at one of the biggest expos they've ever had in Dubai. And there we were demoing really just our coffees that we have and another brewing machine that we are trying to represent here in Dubai. So we did a lot of coffee tastings, some cuppings, and really just trying to meet a lot of people and hand out samples. That's kind of what we did this year too. We just got much better at it from last year. And so it was much better this year than it was last year.
Yeah.
Well, so I came over, and I'm going to brag on Josh and Rachel for a minute because it was uber organized. Schedule was fantastic. They had us scheduled. Rachel had us scheduled.
Brag on Rachel?
Yeah. No, Josh did a great job too.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I scheduled out a lot of things too.
But honestly, it was great because Rachel did think about lunches, people getting breaks. She was very thoughtful, so I thank you for that. It was great. Half the team got sick, but that's okay. We plugged through, and it ended up being a great event. And I think, you could talk more about it, Josh, but I think you got some great contacts from it. And we were able to make a couple sales already from it, correct?
That's right. We've actually made 4 sales already just from the event of new people, not even people we've spoken with before.
Yeah.
It is, which is very good. So it's just proof of that. Doing the show, doing it well, having been here a year and being established has really we've grown in popularity. People have known us. Mm-hmm. There have been several times even this year that I've gone into a cafe and they're like, "Oh, you're Baba Java. That's where I've seen you from." one thing we like to do every year is give out these little sample cups that has our branding on it, but it's a reusable type of thing.
Yeah.
And people remembered it. People use it all year long.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I think it's great too because we also know that sales, you often have multiple touch points before you actually complete a sale. So what we're realizing with World of Coffee, as we have every year, is we're getting more of those touch points. So sometimes we're having conversations that we had last year and we might have them another year before they actually purchase.
That's right.
But it's a long-term commitment to build relationships and just stay in the coffee community and hopefully become a client.
Absolutely. That was a great way to put that. It takes a long time to actually make sales. And that's not really like our only goal. As a business, yes, we need to make money and we want to make money. But we also do it because we love the relational aspect of it. And that's just really fun at World of Coffee. First and foremost, World of Coffee and events like it, SCA Expo, are just fun.
Yeah.
The entire specialty coffee industry around the world is coming together to either do some kind of competitions. There's often lots of like barista championships, latte art championships at these large World of Coffee events. So those are fun to go to. There's also lectures, just so many things that are fun to do. And then you also just get to see a lot of people that are either in your region or not in your region that you get to connect with, reconnect with, that you've met before. So it's just a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
When Josh said around the world, I mean, he literally means people. I mean, I met people, of course, from the Gulf region, from the States, Europe, Russia. Several Russians came to our booth, which was wild. Roasters from Iran.
I hope you
Australia.
didn't have your Ukraine flag.
I did
up.
not. No,
Okay.
we didn't have
All right,
that.
that's good.
But it was amazing though. Josh is right. I mean, the world comes to Dubai in general, and then at World of Coffee, it literally is the world of coffee coming to that one place.
Yeah.
So
Josh is there. Rachel's there. Brad's there. Other people are there. We have a booth. What do we do? What are we doing?
That's a great question. Our purpose, like what is our purpose? Why would we do this kind of event? And why would we even have a booth? So the reason we do it is to network, is to make relationships and network for the point of sales. So it's really a great opportunity for us to demonstrate our coffees on a really large, wide scale, where there's lots of people that can taste them all at once. People that are often going to be our customers and are also looking for new coffees to try as well. So really, it's a place where people can bring the suppliers of goods and the people who need the goods together and just meet each other. So we came with all of our green coffees. We had roasted samples to give to people. We had green samples to give to people. And we also just brewed coffee all day for people to try. We're just standing at our booth, talking to people, telling them about our product, telling them of the stories of our farmers, and why our coffee is important and why the coffee from these farms specifically is important all day long. I can't even count how many people we probably met. I don't know if you can estimate that, Brad, but it was a lot.
Something interesting about Dubai, because it's international, English is typically the business language there.
Thankfully.
Yeah. But I knew that I would use some Arabic being there, but I was surprised at just how much Arabic I was able to speak. I mean, I knew that there would be Arab speakers, but there were a lot of roasters that came up, and that's what their business language was still in Arabic. So I was very surprised by that. And even Spanish speakers, Alejandro was there, and he was able to speak Spanish with, there was a lot of South American, Central and South American coffee farmers that came by, and he was able to speak Spanish with them. So, Josh, you maybe even broken out some German, I think, at some point, didn't you?
I did at one point. There was this Arab dude that lived in Germany. It was so funny. Yeah. So yeah, just a little bit of
Spreche Deutsch.
A little bit, I think.
That's
so
right.
You talked about giving away samples. We were brewing coffee. Rachel, you had a girl come over to help you with marketing stuff. What was your involvement there besides keeping everybody in line and making sure we're where we're supposed to be, which was a full-time job for sure?
Yes.
Besides that, really this year I got to do a lot more of the marketing side of things, which was exciting. Last year it was a lot more of controlled chaos, learning how to do things, getting our feet wet.
Chaos.
Yeah, maybe less control, more chaos. But this year I got to just get to meet with people, walk around, see some roasters, get some content for our different clients that we already have and our relationships that were already established. And then had Bailey over there with me. She was kind of recapping the day so we could show our followers and show our audience and our friends and our family what World of Coffee was and what we were doing with it.
It's a really great opportunity because Rachel has to be so creative to create content throughout the year. This is really awesome opportunity to just get a ton of content all at once for any kind of social media and stuff. Yeah. And she really did that very well. It was really fun. One thing that's also more unique about the coffee industry, or about being on this side of the coffee industry, selling green coffee, is like exhibiting at these type of events are incredibly more important for us because we have a product to sell that other people in the industry want. So if for roasters to go there, it's typically not as helpful. It's mostly just for fun or to do some kind of marketing and say, hey, we're here, this is our product, or to do some competitions and stuff. For us, we actually get to make sales at these events and such. And we did. We made one sale at the actual event and then several shortly after. So that was really fun. But we also, what else is fun about this side of the industry is we get to partner and elevate our clients more.
Yeah.
So that was a really heavy focus this year, was because we've been here for a year, we got to elevate our clients. So we actually demoed just about all of our clients' coffees on the machines that we were brewing on so that people could taste, hey, this is a realistic, real world example of our coffee here in Dubai, and it's really tasty. You should try it and buy it yourself.
Yeah. I think, too, from a marketing standpoint, what's really fun about the green coffee industry is that it's not always the prettiest packaging. You know, you walk into a cafe and there's always an elevated experience. There's customer service. There's, you know, beautiful painted walls and like great things. But, you know, in green coffee, a lot of times you can get a green coffee sample in a Ziploc bag with like Sharpie writing on the outside.
I've seen
to tell you what
many
it is.
times.
And so I think from a marketing standpoint, we have an opportunity to elevate that experience for our partners. And so allowing them to have just branded things across the board and have comfortable seating at our booth and be able to sit and talk with us. And
that's right.
Yeah.
One thing that's a unique perspective that we are able to take and bring to this event specifically and this industry specifically is that we are roasters in the U.S. So we know what roasters want. We know what roasters need because that's where we started in the U.S. So we've gone to several of these type of events, SCA Expo specifically in the U.S., and we are often the roaster receiving all these millions of green samples from all these different producers.
Yeah.
So Rachel has tried to be very intentional with knowing people get really confused of which samples are what. They don't have the contact info on the sample. So she's very intentional about branding. This is Baba Java. This is Joshua Parvin, the person you interacted with. Having our social medias on there, having any kind of contact info. So it's just a unique experience that she's been able to take, knowing what it's like on the other side to be able to elevate the experience for those roasters.
Yeah. And I would say, too, we offer more because we're able to give things like roast profiles. Not every green coffee distributor can offer that, but we have great advice on brewing machines and roasting profiles for what they can do with that green coffee. It's not just a shot in the dark for them. We can tell them exactly how to get a good roast.
That's right.
Exactly. And that hits our hedgehog, right, Nathan?
Yeah. What is our hedgehog?
That's right.
We sell excellent coffee, we give excellent education, and we give excellent customer service. So,
and our hedgehog is the same. That's right.
Exactly.
It's the same here in Dubai. It's the core of our company still here.
Exactly.
We are really passionate about education, customer service, and excellent coffee. And so what we do here is we try to train and educate our clients about as much as possible. So we intentionally go out of our way to get basically as much information from our farmers as possible. Video calls, photos, please send me any information you have so that we can ultimately give it to our clients who are the roasters here so that they know and are educated.
So what's next? What do we do now? How does Baba Java move forward after World of Coffee?
Absolutely. So after the fun but very exhausting 3 days that World of Coffee is, just interacting with people, ultimately what we do is we organize the leads we have. So of all the people we met, we had people who were really interested in coffee, who just were mildly interested, or who maybe were suppliers for us or not interested at all. And so we try and organize our leads throughout the days at World of Coffee, and then we start reaching back out to clients and just, hey, remember me? I gave you some samples. How did you like those? Have you been able to sample roast? Just continue to interact with the relationships that we've established, because that's ultimately what it was about. The show is to network for the point of relationships and sales. So relationships, if we're doing that in the coffee industry, that is going to ultimately elevate everyone. So that's kind of what the coffee industry is like in general, and especially here. So eventually we might sell something to them, but that's not our only goal in making relationships as people and as humans here. We want to just maintain relationships and love people well. But ultimately it might lead to someone else who might introduce us to someone else who ultimately ends up being a sale. That's how it is in business. But then we're also making sales with some of the other relationships that we've established. So the show like this is really important because it gets your brand out there. People can actually physically taste your product, and we are directly introduced with people who directly want to buy our coffees just then.
And World of Coffee is really the first initial meeting of that. But after World of Coffee is us getting to put our words into action and really learn how to serve others well, and serve our clients or potential clients well.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well said.
So one thing, World of Coffee is really fun and it's a lot of work, but really it's meaningless if we don't do the work afterwards. Most of our job comes in the weeks after World of Coffee, in the months after World of Coffee, continuing to follow up with the people that we met and trying to elevate the coffee that the farmers give us.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Anything else you want to add, Nathan?
No, thanks for joining us and talking about World of Coffee. There is one thing about Dubai in general that we didn't talk about in the other episode nor in this one.
Go ahead.
All of our listeners, they know their geography really well. All right, they're experts on it. But
Yes,
for anyone that may be listening that's geography challenged, what does it mean when I say the United Arab Emirates? What does it mean when I say Dubai? Where is this in the world, and what does this mean?
That's right. That is a really important question that we really should have added. But yes, Dubai is a city, and it's also an emirate, which is kind of like a state. So it's like New York. It's Dubai, in the country of the United Arab Emirates. So it's similar to the U.S., where there's a bunch of different provinces that are united together under one leadership, ultimate countries. And Dubai and the UAE is in the Middle East. So it borders Saudi Arabia and it borders Oman. Very close to Africa. It's not far away from Iran. It's not far away from India. Just about a 2.5 hour flight to India. Mm-hmm. Very close and centrally located. You can get to a lot of places from here pretty easily.
Except it's far away from here.
It's far
away.
It's far away from the grandson.
You took my grandson Luke far away from me.
I'm so sorry.
But you do.
We bring him back on.
That's right.
Well, thank you guys so much. I know you guys need to go to bed because it's getting late there. So thank y'all for staying up with us, and we appreciate it and look forward to having y'all on again.
Absolutely. Love it. Love CoffeeU. Glad it's back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're glad it's back too. Woohoo!
We are too.
So thanks again, guys. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, listeners. And we look forward to seeing you next time on CoffeeU.
Welcome to this week's edition of Coffee News, where we look at what's going on in the coffee world this week. SCA. Oh, shoot. Golly. Tongue tied. All right, try again.
Okay.
Welcome to this week's segment of Coffee News, where we look at what's going on in the coffee world around All right. Yikes. Take 3. Welcome to this Welcome to this week's edition of Coffee News, where we look at what's going on in the coffee world. Biggest news coming out of the Specialty Coffee Association is they are rebranding the SCA Expo to be called World of Coffee North America. They announced this on their website and via Daily Coffee News last week. It has been called the SCA Expo ever since it started, but they have also started sponsoring different coffee events around the world in a similar way, and they were all called World of Coffee, just like the one we talked about in our episode, World of Coffee Dubai. So the World of Coffee North America will then just be named whatever city they're in. So the one that's coming up in San Diego next year, it will be called World of Coffee San Diego. And then when it's moved to a different city in 27, it'll just have that city attached to it. So biggest thing coming out of there this week from Specialty Coffee Association. Also, some news coming out of California, which kind of goes into the Baba Beat as well, is our longtime partner, Ground Control, is closing its doors. They announced via Daily Coffee News as well that they are bankrupt, unfortunately, and lost most of their capital designing the new Ground Control, the SM. It had some flaws that they could not overcome. This was coming from Ellie, our good friend and former CEO of the company. So we're sad to hear that. We will continue to use Ground Controls in our shops, and we will service them as long as we have the parts for them. But if in the near future you start seeing different machines in our shops making batch brew and cold brew, you'll know why. So we're sad to hear that. Great partner of ours. We love their machines, and hopefully those guys will bounce back and land on their feet. So also, last thing in Baba Beat is remember, every Tuesday at Homewood is College Tuesdays. You get 10% off your order showing your student ID. It's a great place to come study, hang out with friends, get you a pop, get you a drink, and Christopher and his team will help you out. Good place to relax. So go out to Homewood and get your discount if you're a student. Thank you guys. See you next week.